Hi, it's Goy. There's a question on the forum about Hrefer slowing down and if there's anything that you could even do about it. The long and the short is because you're using public proxies, there really isn't too much you can do about it, but there is still a couple things in there that may be mistakes that people might make. So I want to clarify those and see if it offers any help to anyone. The first thing is that if you're running both Xroomer and Hreffer at once, you want to slow down Xroomer's posting significantly. I only use 25 threads while I'm posting while I'm scraping with Hreffer. Likewise, I'm only using 50 threads with Hreffer while I'm scraping while I'm posting with Xroomer. Why so few? Well, you're going to have limited connectivity. If you imagine a straw as your bandwidth or the amount of bandwidth you have or the amount of information you can fit through there. You can only fit so much air through a straw. And you can breathe as hard as you want to in that straw, but you're only going to pass so much air through it. Same thing with your internet connection. You're only going to get so much information through the limited straw. So be mindful of the number of threads you're using when you're running both programs. Even if you're running just one program and have somewhat limited connectivity, you have to be mindful of that. So number one is reduce your thread counts. I'm going to go ahead and close Xroomer since it has nothing to do with the rest of this. The next thing is to make sure that you are searching or parsing enough different search engines. Um, one of the things is that people have a real affinity for Google, and there isn't so much a need to just scrape Google. You really have to expand how you do things. Um, you know, Xroomer is the program it is because it posts to so many different resources. If it didn't post to so many different CMS types, you probably wouldn't hear about it. Think about the other forum posters that are out there. They only post to maybe one or two or three different forum types. Uh, in those cases, you don't hear about those programs because nobody really cares. They're just another link poster. Who cares if they're a forum post or not? They just really don't do much. So keep in mind that Hreffer is kind of the same way. What makes it or what can make it great is the fact that it can harvest from so many different types of search engines and not just Google or not just Yahoo or not just AOL. So use it to its utmost potential and scrape from as many different search engines as possible. Now, the other limiting factor to keep in mind is yes, you are using public proxies. And while Google may eventually catch on to those proxies, the other search engines aren't nearly as band happy. So if you only scrape from Google, you're really doing yourself a double disservice. Not only are you limiting yourself to one search engine, but you're limiting yourself to the search engine that is most aggressive about banning proxies. So broaden your horizons and scrape from as many different search engines as possible. Now, this brings us to another question of, well, how many search engines should you scrape from? And I actually don't scrape from all of them at once because I find Ahrefs performance becomes cumbersome when you're trying to scrape from too many search engines. I actually only use 5 or 6 or 7 at a time. But to give you an idea of how many search engines I have built in to Ahrefs or I have written in, the example is here's the basic list. And give me 1 second because my dog is out of control. Sorry, those things happen when you have a dog. Anyways, um, the basic list will do well in most cases as long as all the search engines are working. But in my case, I have many more written in. It's really not that tough to write in the search engines, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm not that great at it. Just as a honest statement, I honestly kind of fly by the seat of my pants and get by most of the time. Now, not all of these are working right now, but that's fine. I'll briefly go over how it works. We'll use a search engine other than Google since Google's a little unfair. It's a little custom. What you have, let's take Yahoo, which currently is broken, but I'll use it anyways. In the Yahoo bar, when you go to Yahoo, and perform a search, normally it would go to search.yahoo.com. Then there'd be a trailing slash, and then after that it'd be search question mark p equals, and the query, the opening bracket query closing bracket, is the keyword you use. After that, you have the rest of the information that's found in the browser bar when you perform a search, or what used to be there. What that query is, like I said, that's the keyword. So if you did another search engine, you have to break apart what's in the browser bar and find your keyword and replace it with query. Okay, so in the host name, you write that, and then behind the host name, or in the next thing, the query mask, you copy and paste that and insert the query where you need it. The links mask is how Hrefer will know when there's a link on the page that it should grab. And the same basic concept applies. You have to view the source of the search engine and find the links and see what they look like. In the case of Alta Vista now, I've been saying Yahoo this entire time because Yahoo's in the bar because they're basically the same search engine. What you had was a class, then this little piece of text, and then some other text, followed by a trailing slash and 2 stars, and then your link. This is pretty basic. In fact, I think I may already see one of the problems here. I'd be curious to know if there should be another quotation mark right before the link. I'm not positive, but it's a guess. That just didn't look right. Anyways, the link, the open bracket link closing bracket, is how you know, or how Hrefer will know what links to grab on the page. The total pages really doesn't matter. The next page is the navigation bar on the bottom of the search engine that tells Hrefer how to click to the next page. Same thing there. You just view the source. You look to see what the URL pattern is and replace whatever the next button is with the opening bracket link closing bracket. And that's all there really is to it. So write in some search engines, parse a lot of different search engines if and when possible, and make sure you keep on track of what's working and what isn't. The way you do that is use the stats, search engine stats, and you can see how many links have been collected, how many duplicates. But for everything you have checked, where you have checkbox Babylon, Hotbot, Mama, you want to make sure that it's actually pulling in links. If it's not pulling in links, the search engine code is broken and you need to repair it. So there's no use wasting threads on search engines that are broken and that you need to repair. And that's another thing. You have to make sure that everything you're scraping from actually works. So those were just some quick pointers. I hope they kind of help you out. They may not, but you never know. So take it easy. Talk to you later.